Hey y'all, it's April the 28th, 2015, and this is another video that I already made a video of before, but I wasn't able to upload it on the YouTube, so I gotta make another video, but hey, this one's gonna be controversial, y'all. This might get controversial, but you know what? I had to put it out there. People may not understand yet how an autism walk A walk for autism can be of the devil. It can originate from Satan. You might say, whoa, it's crazy. You've heard of autism walks probably. Hear what I say and you don't really receive me saying that's terrible. It's a terrible thing you said about autism walks, that they could be of the devil, of Satan. Now, I'm not just saying this to rile you up. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying it to bring awareness. It's called autism awareness. And yes, it could be of the devil. Now let me explain. There's uh, I don't know how long the history of walks is. It's all sorts of walks. March of Dimes. Ones you might be familiar with are like for breast cancer. Let's walk for breast cancer awareness. Let's walk for this. Let's walk for that. Let's do a walk for diabetes, y'all. We're gonna walk out diabetes. And let me tell you, in the capital, the world capital of diabetes, San Antonio, Texas, perfect example. There's been diabetes walks. There's been diabetes awareness walks. Gotta ask yourself, what exactly are people becoming aware of? Which people are becoming aware of it? What are they becoming aware of exactly? Are they becoming aware that San Antonio, Texas is the world capital, probably the world capital of diabetes? Is that what you're talking about? So you try to understand the goal, the end game of these walks. Like if you're gonna do a walk, you might as well do one that has a purpose. Kind of hard to figure out what it is. I know a lot of people walk around, and that's good. It's probably a good thing to walk around sometimes. They walk together, and they raise up some money usually, and the money goes, well, gosh knows where. Usually to a fund. That fund probably will put out more advertising. They use that money for advertising so that you'll come again the next time, get some more money. They also say, we're, we need this for research. We need to help out people with diabetes. Can't help but ask myself the question is like, where, how come these people with diabetes don't have people to help them already? I gotta give people money for their diabetes. I know that might sound selfish, but they'll also say like you're going to use the money for research. For what? For a cure. For diabetes. A diabetes cure. Don't tell me I haven't heard that. I've heard that before. A walk for the cure. Diabetes. Everybody knows that's fraudulent at this point. How many years in a row do you have to keep giving money to some research before they find a cure? And secondly, if you have half a brain, you're not looking for the cure. You're looking for prevention. Everybody knows that. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I believe that's the phrase that's uh, gone down for many decades, probably centuries. Prevention is the key, but you know what? Usually I don't talk about prevention because I bet you if you go to one of these diabetes walks, I'm not sure they'll probably be talking about uh, fluoridated water or GMOs and all sorts of stuff like that, high fructose corn syrups and artificial sweeteners. Uh, the fact that the way the city is in fact is extremely hard to eat anything when you're out and about that's not just extremely damaging. I'm not going to talk about that. They're going to talk about, oh man, we need to raise money for the cure. So already you see that the methods being used are kind of insidious. They kind of go to the wrong places. Who knows whose pockets wind up skimming off the cream from these funds every single time from these walk-ins? Who knows? I don't know. Autism is a little bit different from diseases such as diabetes and breast cancer awareness. I've heard it said that perhaps one of the goals of an autism walk is simply to spread awareness that these people are out here that deserve to be accepted and uh, I guess to make them feel good about themselves. They do usually. I mean, I imagine that a lot of them feel good just to be out and about and just doing stuff. Didn't really matter that it was going to be a walk. But they drum up this big celebratory walk thing. And a lot of people, a lot of doctors especially, are very quick to tell you. They almost get defensive when they say there is no cure for autism. In fact, I don't think we're going to find a cure for it. There's no cure for this sort of thing. Don't even try to treat it or don't even try to worry about diet or unnecessary vaccinations. There's no cure for this sort of thing. So I'm not sure what the walk would be about except to make people feel good. Unless they were talking about trying to get a cure. I'm not sure what they talk about at autism walks. But I'm more than sure, maybe I had to go down on one, but I'm more than sure that one of the big focuses is not unnecessary inoculations. I'm more than sure of that. I might have to look into that myself. I doubt it. I doubt you that they talk about fluoridated water. I doubt that they talk about gluten and gluten intolerances. I doubt that they talk about leaky gut syndrome and all sorts of things like that. And maybe if they do, they mention them very briefly so you don't think about the progress that could be made in the grassroots levels, anyways. Uh, I don't know anyone's really looking for a cure for autism. That doesn't make sense. So it makes you wonder where all this money is going to. The reason I say that it's of the devil is not only does it seem not unpractical, seems ripe for boondoggling or, you know what I'm saying, getting some money off. It seems very ripe for that sort of thing. Progress is never made. Money is spent. Think, well, okay, everybody got together and they were smiling and happy and having a good time. Maybe that's worth it. Here to tell you it's not really worth it. Because, see, while you're thinking that you're doing the right thing and it feels very good, inevitably what you're doing is you're dividing these people, taking these people and you're labeling them as autistic, which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with words. You can use words all you want, but you're physically dividing them. I'll tell you like this too. I'm autistic, you know. I don't have a problem with that. My daughter's autistic too. I don't have a problem with you saying that. Uh, I know other people who are either you would call them autistic or you would say that they show a hell of a lot of autistic um, symptoms. I see them a lot. And usually I got to tell you that I don't exactly like all these autistic people. I don't exactly like every single person showing autistic symptoms. Uh, I'm just kind of discriminatory that way. Just because they have these symptoms doesn't mean that I automatically like them or want to be put in a group with them as if to say that, yeah, this is my group. All these people who I don't even really like. So what I'm trying to say is, that if you haven't felt it already, I mean, just look at public schools, just look at television, just look at all of your popular culture. You're, people are being divided all the time. We feel it ever since the Obama presidency. We've been feeling it more and more and more and more. You're divided at every single turn. We're being constantly divided. And the reason for this is because if, say, Satan was going to war with something, he would divide it up in order to make it easier to conquer. It's called divide and conquer. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a phrase that I did not make up. And so, people get very confused as to what groups they belong in, and sometimes they get kind of disillusioned about the thought of grouping themselves in a particular group, and it gets them very confused. But here's what I'm here to tell you. We're being divided up 7 ways from Sunday, 17 ways from Sunday. That's true all the time. But if you go back to the Bible, and if you're confused about this at all, uh, you check out the passage where Jesus himself says that he is not here to bring peace. He's very specific about that. It's not his intention to bring peace, but uh, to but instead to bring the sword. So it's his intention to divide, is what he said. He will divide people. And he made a list of all sorts of people, like people, including your family, might uh, leave you and whatever, might become divided from you. So, what I'm trying to say, to sum it all up, the reason that an autism walk is of the devil is because it divides you again, yet again, in the wrong way. We gotta stay. We gotta start right now because the country is already easing into civil war, martial law situations already. Walmart's are closing down. Weird, preposterous things are happening. We definitely need to start dividing ourselves. But you know what? You have to divide yourself into the right group. Instead of dividing yourself because this is your skin color, or because you're a woman or a man, or because he has autism and you don't have autism, and dividing yourself because this guy has diabetes and this guy doesn't have diabetes. We need to start dividing ourselves the correct way in groups of people who actually understand each other's thought processes and ideologies. Instead of an autism walk, believe it or not, you know what? I'm gonna just put this out there. Maybe, uh, maybe y'all might want to have a Christian walk, a Jesus Christ walk. Man, I don't know if you ever thought about that. You might say, oh, what business does an autistic person having to go to a Jesus Christ walk like they can understand it? Well, let me tell you something. They can understand it. In fact, they understand it good enough. You know what happens? I don't know. I don't know if you heard about this, but symptoms and stuff start to fade away. According to the Bible, once you start receiving the blessings of Jesus Christ, and this really doesn't matter what you are, if you had leprosy or all sorts of blindness and stuff, that's really what's going to turn stuff around. I mean, if for whatever reason you're not a Christian, maybe America, maybe you want to go on an America walk because you love America. You don't want to see it crumble to the ground in ashes. A Liberty Walk. Uh, there's all sorts of ideas. Um, some far better than others. But an autism walk will never make sense. Diabetes walk will never make sense. Breast cancer awareness walk, I'm sick of that too. God's sick of it. If you don't believe me, you can argue with me all you want or debate me all you want. This is a This is me again reporting from the world capital of diabetes. It's April the 28th, 2015.